Have you ever wondered how music legends turned passion into purpose that translated beyond sages and songs? Or have you questioned how to leverage technology to upgrade your brand, no matter its size or age? Well, today, I have two creatively gifted guests who broke through the barriers in their own ways. The first is Gloria Scott, an influential soul singer who has inspired many and is touring again at the age of 77 after suffering a stroke. And Ikette Liu, who leverages her tech expertise at Reincubate to help businesses level up their video content. This is all we'll be exploring today, the grit and the grace it takes to never give up on your dreams, no matter your age or your interests, right here on the Business Breakout.
Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll
With an attitude so good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Whoa, yes, I am so excited. You know, we will be exploring all of these things today, and uncovering those connections across industries and eras begins with each business's unique journey and a willingness to take a look back and connect the dots. And today, before I go too far without connecting the dots, hello, hey there. If this is your first time, my name is Ella Glasgow, and I am your host, then the Director of Funability at Beyond Virtual Events, where we help businesses large and small to create impactful virtual experiences. And this just so happens to be the event that we produce live inside of Zoom on the first and third Wednesday of every single month. And our attendees are here. They are making connections too. Say, hey, y'all. Hey, hey, hey.
Hi, how are we all doing today?
Thanks so much for being here. We're going to get right back to them, and speaking of making connections, did you know that one of the great places to make connections here is on LinkedIn, which is my favorite place. And I love making the connections on the LinkedIn stages. And I believe that you should know about how to make those connections too. So give just a listen right now to one of my favorite LinkedIn experts.
Hello, my name is Andy, and here's my LinkedIn tip. LinkedIn is a give-to-get platform. In order for you to get what you want, you need to give what others want. For example, if you want someone to visit your profile page, you should visit their profile page. If you want to get engagement on your content, you need to engage on other people's content. Those are just two examples of giving to get, but there are many more. Have a reciprocal mindset to succeed on LinkedIn.
Yes, indeed. Have a reciprocal mindset to succeed on LinkedIn. It is incredibly important and something that you must have to be able to succeed on LinkedIn and be able to make those connections. And speaking of connections, we were talking about making connections across eras, across industries, and that is exactly what our guest is going to be doing today. Our next guest, she is Ikette Liu, and she enables, through her work, empowering small businesses to upgrade their content tools. As head of customer success and community at Reincubate, Ikette provides hands-on guidance for how brands can tap into innovative video technology solutions to take their live stream videos and podcasts to the next level, regardless of budget or prior experience. And her diverse passion for gaming and sports and broadcasting informs her personalized approach in helping clients identify how to best leverage versatile tech that matches their vision. Please welcome to the Business Breakout, Ikette Liu.
Hi, Ella. Thank you so much for having me today.
I'm so glad you could be here today. Thank you so much. We've been trying to work this particular thing out because we have done shows together.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
But I want to hear a little bit about your background because you have such a unique blend of interests from fantasy to basketball to gaming and broadcasting. How have you leveraged that versatility in your approach at Reincubate?
Sure, I'm happy to expound on that a little bit. So, I got my content start doing basketball podcasting, and I never thought that doing basketball podcasts would lead me to doing content for working in tech. But here I am today, and I've found that everything that I learned through podcasting, which I'll just give you a little bit idea. The podcast that I started on was a podcast with anywhere between 4 and 7 people on the same podcast at once. So I learned a lot about timing. I learned a lot about reading the room. I learned a lot about strategic pauses and when and how to fill silence. And all of those skills transferred to what I do today. I love doing collaboration content, and we've done a lot of collaboration together. So, it's just, I love having conversations with people. I actually prefer doing collaboration than I prefer doing solo content, because all of my past experiences, I've just found that I really excel when I get to work with other people and empower other people to share their experiences with others as well.
I totally get that. It really is easier sometimes to have somebody on camera with you to banter that conversation with instead of having to be there all alone. so, so I get it. And, the things that you are doing with the people that are using the tech tools that you have. Because we were just talking about in the room here in Zoom, we were talking about, how I was, one of the first people, at least that you met for Reincubate, because if you guys haven't heard me talk about Reincubate before, you're going to hear me talking about it a lot from now on, because look, I love Camo. And for you and I both, this is the camera that we're using. So how are you helping your customers to really level up their video with tech and making it easy?
Sure. So one of our biggest core values is for things to just work and for things to be very straightforward. So the short version is that Camo gives you great video, helps you level up your video with whatever camera you are using. I really recommend people to try out their iPhone or Android camera, because Google, Samsung, Apple, they put thousands and thousands of dollars, maybe we are into the more than thousands actually of dollars into R&D for these amazing cameras that we all have in the palm of our hands. And Camo lets you use that camera to get great video on video calls, live streams, anywhere you are using video content. We do quick and easy lower thirds with a built-in overlay editor, so you can add your name, your LinkedIn, your logo, some branding colors. Let me just click through a couple to give you guys a little idea of what you can do right within Camo. All of these are just here to give you sort of inspiration for how you can better present yourself and stand out on a Zoom call when there's a Zoom room that's filled with like 10 or more people even. How do you stand out in those situations? You stand out by having great video, great audio, and throw in a little bit of branding and text. It really just makes you look so much more professional and polished.
It really, really does. And here's the cool thing about having Eden and myself on at the same time today, because when she said something really key, because Eden, I'm always working and testing through something, especially with Camo, because I'm like, what have we not known about yet? Okay, I have another camera, I'm gonna test it. Because I just called you last week to say, hey, I found another camera and I see that it works with Camo. So, Eden, you're on your iPhone, right? Or which camera?
Actually, I'm not on my iPhone today. I recently have been testing out a big girl camera, as one might call it. I still use my iPhone a lot of the time. I'm probably 50-50 right now, just because the iPhone is so quick and easy to set up. I have a 12 Pro Max that I use regularly for content. But honestly, Ella, you couldn't even tell the difference when I signed on that I'm using a more professional camera.
Right.
So
yeah. I am using, just so that you all know, I'm using an Android phone. I know I'm not using my iPhone. I'm saying this out loud in public because Eden, didn't I tell you? I'm like, don't tell anybody that I'm using an Android camera. And the reason why is because I am everything Mac, and I just so happen to love my iPhone. And that's what I used first when I started using Camo. But Eden and I both agreed that once we were seeing for my brand, and this is key, the camera that you're using, you need to be thinking about your brand and how that affects your
100%.
brand, how that's going to look for your brand. And for my brand, the look that I want, the crispness of this camera, this Android, which is a Pixel 4a, is just what looks better for me. And Eden and I both agreed after looking and swapping through both, we just like this picture better. So
And that's the thing, is that's really kind of cool about Camo, is that we are cross-platform. We support Android, we support iPhone, but I think tech is all about, meeting people where they are. So I know that you mentioned that you're pretty entrenched in the Apple ecosystem, and I am too. But I will admit that I've gotten to play with some Android phones lately. My brother is a Pixel guy, and when I'm taking pictures, especially in like low light situations, I find that I kind of prefer the Androids when it comes to the certain like use cases. So I think it's all about what you're trying to accomplish, and whatever you're trying to accomplish, Camo and I will meet you where you are and take you where you want to go.
yeah, it's so true. And Chris Stone is saying that Camo is incredible and he uses it for every live stream, has an alternate camera. That's awesome. That's so cool. Thank you so much for coming on and saying that, Chris. That's awesome. I love the versatility of Camo to be able to easily go into a Zoom meeting. It doesn't have to just be Zoom. I mean, I happen to love Zoom, but there are so many other meeting platforms, and whatever platform you're going into, the ability to be able to have yourself stand apart from the others that are there. And obviously there are other things that you can do to help yourself stand apart from the others that are there. But Camo is definitely one of those tools that's an easy tech tool. And if you're not wanting to do as Eden has done, and many others have done, if you don't want to go and get a big girl camera, then you can use the already expensive camera that you have in your pocket because you've already paid a whole lot of money for it.
Exactly. And I love what Chris said. Shout out to Chris, by the way, and the Dealcasters. But that reminded me that, so even though I have upgraded cameras at this point, when I travel, I'm not trying to bring this Sony A6600 with me. I don't have that kind of, I'm not that responsible to be able to travel with this chunky and expensive but valuable piece of equipment. I'm just going to roll with my phone, and phones are so much easier to take on the go with you. And as Chris said, to use as an alternate camera. It's great to be able to set up a secondary shot, whether it's just like from another angle to kind of change it up for your audience, or a top-down shot when you're doing product videos or unboxing videos. It's way easier to mount an iPhone for a top-down shot as compared to a DSLR or mirrorless camera. So just something to think about there.
For sure, for sure. So if you're trying to do demonstrations, if you're trying to show other things, show your desk, whatever it is that you're trying to show that's outside of your screen, to be able to use your iPhone instead is absolutely game changing, so that you don't have to try and set up this, like she said, a heavy camera, and traveling on the road, not having to try and bring all of this other heavy equipment when all you need is your laptop and your phone, y'all. All you need is a laptop and your phone.
Exactly. And even if you are fine with packing up all of your equipment and traveling with it, I just know that, we are always careful with our tech, but sometimes the people at TSA are not. So you just never know.
True stories. Oh my gosh. Eden, as always, there are 50 bajillion other things that we could be talking about, but we have got to move forward in the show, and I have to let you go. Thank you so much for being on with me today. I really, really appreciate you coming, and especially letting more people know about this amazing tool that I've been using for years and that you should be using too. And just so that you know, if Camo is something that you're interested in, like you said, it's available for both Mac, for PC, for all the phones, all the cameras. If you'd like to get a little bit of a discount, use Ella 15. You can use Ella15, get a little bit of a discount off an already inexpensive tool. Ella15, all right? But Eden, thank you
And
so
if
much.
anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out.
Yes, feel free to reach out. Eden is on all of the social platforms, and when the show is over, I will update the description so that you can be able to connect with her. Thank you so much, Eden. Y'all, I've said it 50 billion times. If you haven't heard me say it, I'm going to keep on saying it. I love Camo. And today, I also love the fact that I have a very special guest for our next level stage. This person, depending on how you've met me, where you've been with me, you may or may not have heard me speak about this person before, but her name is Gloria Scott, and she's very special to me because she is my aunt. And I had the opportunity recently to sit down with her over the phone and interview her about her life on the stage. And she had some really fun things to say, and she's had such an interesting life that I think that you're going to be very inspired by. Please welcome to the next level stage, my Auntie Go-Go, Gloria Scott.
Won't you help me get off this merry-go-round? Help me get home. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So my first question for you is, how did you get started in music? What was that story?
Well, in the first place, my mom and dad said, we're going to move to California. And the only reason why my father wanted to move was so that his daughters, which is my older sister and me, could get into the music business. And I remember I was in high school, and I was at a high school dance. And there was a guy playing in the band. His name was Slice Sylvester. Wait, let me get that straight. They called him Sylvester Stewart there, and it just happened to be Sly Stone. And so my girlfriend said she can sing, and so we got up. He said, "Well, come up here and sing then." So I got up on the stage and sang "Gee Whiz." Look at his eyes. And from then on, he started taking me around the Bay Area and to the sock hops that they played at every weekend. And I was on the show. And the next thing I knew, he put a record on me, and it just started from there.
Wait a minute. So Grandpa moved you guys. I did not know Grandpa moved you guys to California specifically to get you all in the music industry.
Well, my mom wanted to move because her mother was here, my grandmother. And my dad said that the only reason why he was doing it was so we could get into the music business. But he didn't want to move because my grandmother was here, because he wanted to stay there in Texas.
Well, it seems that tech has decided to tech us out today. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to bring the rest of her story back in another time, and showcase her another day, because she is absolutely incredible, and her story is is absolutely insane. So what I would love to do, since we have a little bit of time left, and I promise I will post the story, I will post the interview. I'm going to post it separately because it's definitely one that you're going to want to hear, and hear the incredible journey that she's been on from where she started with, as you heard her talking about, my grandpa moved them to California. I had no clue that my grandfather had moved them all to California for the music industry. Without giving too much away of what she was saying, I will tell you this, that it wasn't necessarily what he wanted to do. He wanted to do for the music industry. My grandmother had other intentions. But the whole story in itself is really comical, and everything that ensued from there is incredible. So I will definitely post that. And in the little time that we have left, I want to bring Eden back on because I know that Eden has some other things. She and I were talking yesterday about some of the other tools that she's been doing, and we wanted to make sure that you guys knew about these tools outside of Camo that are going to be really useful for those of you that are trying to level up your video. Hey, Eden.
Hi, Ella. Always, I could talk to you forever about this topic, whether we're on a show or not. So I'm happy to pop back on and share some takes.
But I'm curious because I know you were talking to me about some other tools, and we are both tech heads and we are both tool heads, and we really love AppSumo. Like we're like, what? Foaming at the mouth whenever we hear about new tools. So I am all ears. What tools have you been playing with lately?
So I thought of 3 tools that I wanted to share on this topic in the interest of, I came up with this top 3 list in the interest of keeping things like very simple and like very like plug and play, sort of like you can set it and forget it, because I really value tools that I don't have to spend a lot of time learning and that I can just set it up once and then I don't have to really tinker with it again. So without further ado, I will start with number 3, and that will be Crisp. Crisp is a tool that does, like, it just helps you sound better. It does live noise cancellation for Zoom calls. We all know how important audio is when it comes to doing video content. Some might argue that audio is more important than video. So that's another conversation for another day. But so I have this really noisy air conditioning unit, window AC unit, because I live in New York in a really old apartment building that doesn't have central air. And you can really hear it when it is on before I started using Crisp. After I started using Crisp, you can no longer hear that air conditioner. It is not that far away from me because I live in Brooklyn and my office is this big. So that's number 3. Yeah. Ella, have you tried out Crisp before?
I have not tried out Crisp. You're reminding me that I have been wanting to try out Crisp. So duly noted. Please continue.
Yeah. And there's a couple of others that softwares out there that do sort of the same thing. So just, I'm also a big fan of people doing their homework based on like a recommendation and seeing if that is the right software for them, or if a similar software that does the same function but maybe has slightly different UI or different functionalities might be a better fit. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Speedify. So Speedify is magic for anyone that does a lot of video calls and live streams. The best way I can think of to explain it is that it prioritizes your live video and helps you bond your internet connections. So for example, if you have like if you're traveling and you don't have like your usual really good reliable internet, you can use your phone hotspot combined with hotel internet, or maybe you have it like a third-party hotspot also. It will bond all of those internet connections together to make a superpower internet connection, so you can make sure that your live stream is silky smooth and not lagging or jittering at all. So that's number 2. Ella, I don't know if you've heard of Speedify before, but it is a game changer. And then number 1, I would say, is Descript. It is a tool that is, you upload your video into Descript and it will automatically transcribe it for subtitles, but more importantly, you can edit your video through looking at the transcript. So you can cut out filler words easily. You can create short form content really easily because I am a very fast reader. So it's so easy for me to just skim a like hour and a half long live stream and sort of pick out the points that are in that long video and like create a much shorter video to repurpose and use. So those are
Yeah.
my top 3 tools that I wanted to
Yes.
share that are super easy to use and very like plug and play vibes.
So I do have, Lord, why did my brain just, I'm going to have to look at my phone because that's where I have Speedify, Lord Jesus. I have Speedify on my phone and I use it for other things as well. And it definitely does help with keeping things consistent, especially if you have a poor internet connection and you have an internet connection that wants to go in and out. You're trying to use Wi-Fi and you need to make it strong so that you're not sounding crazy on while you are maybe doing a Zoom call or even speaking at someone's event. This Speedify will help you to have a consistent quality going across that stream every time, regardless of what's going on. And Descript is one that it's been around for a long time. And if it's something that you haven't played around with yet, it definitely can be very helpful for all of those reasons that Eden was talking about, with having to really edit video and to make it super fast and easy to do. Thank you for telling us about all of those tools. And I took the notes. I put crisp. I'm going to do it. I'm going to
do it. You won't regret it. It's just, you just have it on and you have better audio automatically. You just don't even have to think about it. There's no tinkering with settings. Me and you, we love to tinker with settings, right? We'd love that. But many people don't. So
Right.
That's what I love about Crisp.
Exactly. Well, Eden, before I let you go, we've come to the end of the show. Is there one thing that you would want to tell business owners, companies, businesses about Camo or any of the tools that you feel that they could walk away with and do it today?
Well, I really just have to say, if you haven't tried out Camo, please give it a try. It will really help your video look better, whether it's just helping you get perfectly framed in your scene or adding quick and easy lower thirds, giving you a little bit of portrait background blur that looks really, really just chef's kiss. It's probably our top feature that everyone loves. If you want to stand out on video, give Camo a try and reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to help you get set up and make sure that Camo is doing what it promises in making great video easy and accessible for everyone.
Thank you so much, Eden. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. For those of you that have been here with us live, I appreciate you. Hey, shout out to Chris. Thanks for being with us live. And for those of you that are watching in the replay, thank you for being here as well. And as I mentioned, that interview with my Auntie Gogo, I am going to post that later today. I might even stream it live. We'll see what happens. And if you are someone who has been trying to put your virtual events together, you've been trying to figure out how to make it work, but the tech is just teching too hard for you and you don't have the time for the tech headaches and you need somebody to help you put that together and figure out a strategy to make your virtual event last beyond just the event day, then definitely reach out to me, give me a call, and let's see how we can make your next event go far beyond. We'll see you next time.